Good morning,
Good afternoon.
good night, and welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef,
And I'm Gigi.
and we're excited to be here.
Listen, thanks for checking in.
Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm
And
Gigi.
G, it feels like it's been a minute.
You know what? They don't know, but we know it's been a while.
It's been
Yeah.
G, listen,
Yes.
I've been busy. You've been busy. But being back here right now, it feels good.
It does feel good.
My
I miss
partner,
you, man.
I miss you too.
Listen, y'all see us week after week after week, but it's been a while.
It's
I
been a
miss you,
while.
man.
Oh man, listen, we're gonna catch up at our spot this Thursday.
That's
to go
right.
over the show, so have a good time. Listen, today we got an exciting show. Oh, gee,
Yes.
I'm soup.
I'm always soup.
I'm soup.
Listen, I'm the soup for everybody. But.
Oh my god, true, absolutely. Everyone's been amazing. This guy right here, Brian Hooks,
Ooh.
so
So
freaking
talented.
The guy is truly talented.
Done a lot of work.
Oh.
He's got a long resume.
Oh, he has a great resume,
Yeah.
and he's been extremely busy. But to nail him down,
lucky for
his
us.
exact words will say, he said, "Let's do it."
All right.
So I was happy to hear it. He'll be on in about 2 minutes.
Fantastic.
But as of right now, let's have some fun.
Let's have some.
All right, let's play our games. All right, guys, before we move forward, please hit the subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and continue to send us emails and talk to us. Be a part of us, and please share this video.
Yes,
right,
please.
G?
Please share.
All right, let's have
Word
some fun.
out.
All right, here's the first question, and please, guys, play along. All right, G.
All right. What we got, Teef?
First question. Macaulay Culkin was paid $1 million. He was the first child star ever paid that much money for what movie? Macaulay Culkin.
Home Alone.
Everyone was going to say Home Alone.
Home Alone 2.
Everyone was going to say Home Alone too. When I say this one, Gigi's going to go,
No. Like, let me get another one. Maybe it was not Hand the Blocks of Cradle. The Good Son?
It was called My Girl.
Oh, I did
You
see
remember
My
that?
Girl.
That
I
was a
did,
good
yeah.
one, too, a
I would
sad
have guessed
one.
that was one of the million.
Yeah.
That was $1 million movie.
$1 million movie.
Listen, get it where you can get it, Macaulay.
All right, number 2. What rap song was the first to ever hit number 1 on the top Billboard 100s?
Huh.
First rap
Was
song
it?
ever.
I'm guessing it's on the top Billboard 100s.
Yeah, the hit number 1 and on the top Billboard 100s.
Okay, is it a Will Smith song?
No.
All right, is it the hit hot the hit yeah, don't stop the record.
No,
That
no,
is not
no,
it either.
no.
All right, then I'm guessing it is. Oh,
5, 4, 3.
I don't know, Funky
2,
Cold
1.
Medina. If I'm gonna
It
do
is
something random,
called
what is it?
Vanilla Ice. Ice, baby.
I have a lot of emotions about that. I have a lot of
Be
emotions,
nice,
but
be
I'm,
nice. That
I'm
was a
even
great-
listen. I have a lot of emotions. All right, there we go.
You're a mess. You're a mess. All right, number 3. What actor starred in 2 of the highest grossing films of the 90s?
Say that again.
What actor starred in 2 of the highest grossing films of the 90s? 2 of the highest grossing
Grossing films in the 90s.
What actor?
One actor?
Yeah, one actor. What actor is it?
Will Smith.
Will Smith. You
I
are
knew he was
so
gonna be. He was gonna be one.
good.
Is it
Yes,
right?
Yes. What movies?
Ooh, for the 90s was it Independence Day?
Independence Day.
And let's see. Oh, Men in Black.
Oh, she's good. She's
Right?
And Men in Black.
Ooh, I feel redeemed.
Independence Day and Men in Black. Good, G.
Right.
Look at you.
Yes,
All right.
yes.
Quick question, guys. How old was Biggie when he passed away?
Oh, hope this is like
When he
the
was
$1,000 minute game. 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38,
Biggie?
29, 28, 25, 26. Wait, I don't know.
He
27.
was 24 years old.
Dang it. He was young. He was a youngin'.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I forgot. He
All
was
right.
young.
And question number 5, the final question. What is considered the first reality TV show of all time? The first reality TV show.
Oh, the first. Well, I mean, I remember when MTV did. What is it? What is it called? Oh my gosh. When everybody
Today, G.
real.
Today.
Oh, when I put this pressure on you, you don't like it. You don't like it.
Just
All
saying,
right, all right,
I
all right, right. What the heck was it when
mean.
everybody showed up and it was like,
And five, four,
I don't
three,
remember.
two.
Dang it.
The Real
I
World.
couldn't
The
remember
Real
that.
World
But
was considered the first reality TV show of all time.
it's not actually, but
Well,
I'm gonna
on
fact check
trivia,
that.
yes,
I'm
they
gonna
put
fact
The
check
Real
that, and
World.
it,
All
it's the
right.
first one for me, for our generation, for sure.
Hey,
Yeah.
this is going to be a great show. Brian Hooks. I hope you guys are ready. You ready? Here we go. Welcome to Jazzy Conversations. I'm Teef.
And I'm
And G,
Gigi.
let's do it.
Come
Ladies and
on,
gentlemen, look who we have on the screen.
come on. Welcome to
There
the
you go. That's a
show.
very talented
Thank you,
brother right
thank you. What's
there.
good? What's good, you
There
guys?
you go. Hey, hey, Bri, it's been a minute. We've been trying to track you down for a minute. You're a very busy guy.
Yeah, I know we've been trying to make this happen for a while. But I've been, shaking and moving and trying to keep them from cutting off my lights
That's
and all.
right. That's right. We ain't gonna get in the way of your money.
Very funny guy.
Finally connected. My good friend Kareem Grimes, who's a friend of you guys, told me that.
Absolutely.
Yes, it was great having him on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bri, you're going in and out on our end. Your volume's going in and out.
Okay, can you hear me now?
There
Is
you go.
this working?
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kareem was amazing. And he was like, listen, guys, my buddy Brian, man, we were like, what? Of
Yeah.
course.
Of
Brian Hook. Brian, you're such a talented guy, man. Everyone's watching this. Of course, everyone's going to talk about all your movies, but we all remember Three Stripes. So we're going to get into that.
Yeah, let's give him
Yes,
an
yes.
official intro, right? This is
Yes.
Brian Hooks, right? For those of you who don't know, he's got a great resume. We're gonna hear all about all the work that you've done. So it's great having you. Glad you said yes.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So, Brian, what we're going to do right now, we're not going to hold your time, but we like to tell the story. We want people to tell their story, and you have an amazing story. And it's funny because Gigi and I were talking. We're all the same age, same generation, and to see your career start out in '96 and just take off. So we
Yeah.
want to go back to the beginning. I mean, from the beginning, '74 all the way up till now. Tell us the beginning.
Yeah, I think, I was born and raised in Bakersfield, and, I've always had an entertainment bug in me. From Bakersfield, it's a small town, so it's only so much you could do to tap into that. But I left for college to go to Cal State Northridge in Los Angeles
Okay.
from high school. And from there, I was majoring in math.
Okay.
But I would keep a theater class or a film production class because that was my passion. But my moms and pops didn't send me to no school to become no
You
super
know that's
nothing,
right.
or super something. But nah, we ain't going down there to play pretend in movies.
There you go.
So it was something I had to do, on the side or in addition to my schoolings, and then one thing led to another, and then I was taking an acting class, and I submitted myself through Dramalog, which is now Backstage West, where they have listed all these independent film productions for a little small indie film called Fat Beach. And it was 6 or 7 auditions later, I would get the leading role in the film Fat Beach, which was directed by Doug Ellen, who was the creator of Entourage and did a lot of other really cool things. But that was like his first feature film,
Wow.
with my co-star being Jermaine Huggy Hopkins from Juice and Lean on Me and all those
Yes.
legendary films. And from Fat Beach, after that, the film went on. It did good at the box office, but just went crazy and through the roof on DVD. And then from there, I've just sort of been blessed to be continuously working, and went on to do High School High and Beloved and the Eve Show and Three Strikes and Soul Plane and Fool's
Yes.
Gold, a number of other independent films. So I've been extremely blessed. It's been a different path for me, a very independent path, but I must say it's been fulfilling.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's
goodness.
good. So far, right? Been fulfilling so far because there's more in store for you.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not finished running and gunning. And again, I've created sort of this independent lane for myself, and that's sort of been my foundation and my bread and butter. And at the time when I started, it was me and a buddy, Barry Bowles, and we went out and we made this film for like $13,000, and it was called Cue the Movie. And when we finished, the movie was absolutely horrible. But it was 90 minutes and it was funny.
Yep.
And so it was coming on the heels of Fat Beach, which had done, millions and millions and millions of dollars on DVD. So this mid-level distributor called Xenon Entertainment was like, yo, we'll take it. And long story short, this $13,000 film made $800,000. And from there, we had accidentally on purpose sort of discovered this niche in this space to where we could exist without, the typical Hollywood gatekeepers
Right.
find a knack for ourselves, and we didn't have to sit and wait on anyone. So that's when a time when you would go into blockbusters and you would see, the biggest, blockbuster movie, and then you see this, little goofy dude, Brian Hooks, on the box as well. You was like, well, I'm gonna take both of them. And so your blockbuster movie, when you were also enjoying, this independent underground funny dude, and Q made 800,000. I think we did Nothing to Lose, a romantic comedy, Barry Bowles and all, and that made over $4 million on DVD. So we really found this niche where we could exist with and sort of control our own destinies. And at the time, after a while of doing that, I really felt like, man, why do I have to wear all these hats? Why do I have to do, 10 times the work of some of my peers and so on and so forth? And I think what was happening was God was blessing me with these jewels that I didn't even understand.
Learning,
Wow.
Because
learning
flash
as you go.
forward, yeah, flash forward, we in the most independent time ever. And, because of me always having to make a film with, one hand tied behind my back, now I could do it with two hands tied behind my back, blindfolded. And so I can always eat, I can always create, and I can always make a living for myself when, some of my peers are still sitting, waiting to be picked, so to speak. And so it turned out to be a huge blessing. And that's why I say my journey was different, but it was an independent path that turned out to be, again, a huge, huge blessing, because I'm not just sitting around dancing, trying to, get somebody to pick so that I can eat.
In the West Coast, well, I think overall in the '90s, he was known as the DVD king out there. Like that's your nickname.
Wow.
Yep, yep, yep. And it was because of the success of those films and just just the huge reach of those films. And it sort of really changed even the way studios did business with some of the success of these films, because they were looking at those numbers and saying, wow, you know what I mean? Here's a handful of films that we don't plan to do a sequel because, it's too expensive, but we can cut out the cost by making a sequel to this film that already has an audience, taking it straight to DVD and making a ton of money. It's all profit.
Mm.
And that's where they got that from. And that's when you used to go in and you see a sequel. You're like, wait a minute, when did they do part two to this? Like, I didn't see that. It wasn't theatrical. They just put it straight to DVD, and they sort of drew that from the model of Barry and I's independent films, to where again we go straight to DVD. We don't incur the cost of a theatrical release, which could be tens, 20s, 30s, 40 millions of dollars. And so it really, really changed the game. And you know what I mean? And so again, it's been a huge blessing.
Wow, wow.
It is so impressive because we're talking about something that you were doing thinking to scrape by or to just stay busy. It sounds like I want to find a way to how can I be in this industry?
Yeah.
Like for something like that to really make room for you later on, I think is such an incredible and encouraging story. Like you who knew? Did you you didn't know, right, that this would
No,
make a way for
that's why
you.
I always say I was honest, sort of accidentally on purpose. You
Mhm.
know, the good thing, the positive thing we did is we got out of the planning state and we took a chance and we put ourselves out there instead of talking about it, planning about it, thinking about it. We jumped
Mhm.
in. As I said, in Q, we got a lot of stuff wrong, but because we stepped up and did it, again, we had 90 minutes. It was funny. It was not a good film, but it worked and it played. From that, we found that space. So that's why I say it was accidentally on purpose.
Yeah.
But, it was that action and that, and us being, set on creating a space for ourselves. And,
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. It's been the hugest, biggest, blessing and created a huge foundation for myself to where, again, I'm not waiting on anyone. You
Right,
know what I
right.
mean?
That initiative.
Yep.
Can I
Okay.
ask? So you said that your parents were like, "Well, we're not sending you to school for no play acting, right? We're not doing that." When were they convinced? Did seeing you do this hustling, or at what point did your parents say, "All right, yeah,
It was
we
a
appreciate it."
testimony. When it was a limo being sent to get them to drive the taping of Eve and driving them back home, when I wrote my dad a huge check to stop working, even though he kept working after that, he hustled me. I think it was, they were always fine with it so long as I was going to school.
Right,
And then
right.
once we got, some of those studio checks start coming in, and particularly the Eve show.
Show me the
I
money,
was just about to
right?
ask about that.
Yes, yes.
Brian,
Yeah,
this is a. Oh, God, I'm sorry.
everybody path is different. Boy, go on there with the
Go on, make that money, boy. Go on ahead.
daddy used to do
What else you got for me?
and they were, you know what I mean? Yeah. But my parents are so, we Bakersfield, California, born and raised, and it's sort of a very country town. I always tell it's just amazing parents because they, in the middle of Eve when we were making a ton of money, um, they would still be like, "Hey, you all right? You need anything?" Like, that's just
Right.
that, you know,
Yes,
Beautiful,
yes,
beautiful. I love that.
yes.
I love that.
like, nah, still checking on me. You know what I mean? Even though, you know what I mean, they backing the bank truck
Yeah,
up to.
Now, now,
listen.
now, are you the only child?
I'm the middle.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
got an older
Mhm,
brother and a younger sister. Yeah.
Are they in the industry?
No, not at all. I was going to school to be a teacher,
Oh, okay.
and they're both teachers as well. And my mom was a teacher, so um, yeah, yep.
Absolutely
mhm,
beautiful.
My
Now,
mhm.
brother writes. My latest film is a romantic comedy. Um, that'll be coming out the end of this year. He wrote that, so we write a lot of stuff together. So
who wrote that? I'm sorry. We couldn't hear you.
myself and my brother Roy
Oh,
Oh,
Hook,
nice,
nice.
nice. That's
the
the one.
writer.
That's the one you said, "Yo, Teeth, I'm in the middle of editing. I'll hit you back." That's the one you said.
Yeah, yes, correct.
I
Yeah.
got you. Hey, now listen,
Yeah.
let me ask this question. I'm very intrigued about. So I know the Eve show happened, but prior to that, because you're so independent, you were doing this on your own with no sponsor, no management, no agent. This is all you. Everything going back to you.
Yeah, yeah, and again, it came from that moment with Q when we just sort of anteed up that change and sort of had that breakthrough with Q the movie when with Xenon, and then again we just found this little space to where we could create these modest budget films that were having huge returns,
Uh huh.
and so again that sort of allowed us to build a foundation that was sort of unseen, and people didn't really know how to gauge it and how to deal with it because no one had really at that time um, created any lanes outside of the Hollywood norm.
Right.
And so that was extremely huge for us. And then, and even with, actors and entertainers and stuff, they really a lot of them aren't business minded. So, they rate success on, when my face is on a billboard. You know what I mean? They would
Mm-hmm.
rather be on a billboard in Times Square with no money than to have a whole bunch of money and nobody necessarily know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, that
I've
part.
never done that, give me the security, the financial
Absolutely.
security
Mm-hmm.
every time. And so that's sort of what we had, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are like, to me sometimes, what you've been doing, are you still such and such? And but it's a whole host of things behind the scenes that I'm always doing and creating and helping peers who that you enjoy watching. So it really created a foundation to where I can control my own destiny,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
which is, a lot of people can't say that,
That's right.
and then, what Tyler Perry did was the same thing I've been doing for years. And, of course, that went to orbit, a whole nother level with, but he just started on the independent thing, making his own way. And then, it took on a whole life of its own. And now he is who he is.
Wow. Now, Brian, let's get into the three strikes. How did that look? Because you did that on your own. That audition, how was that? Because that was a big 2000. That was a
Three
big.
Strikes,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
everybody thinks Three Strikes I did on my own, but no, that was DJ Pooh
Oh,
who
okay.
co-wrote Friday. And so on
Okay.
that one,
Mm-hmm.
I had to audition. And the role was initially for Chris Tucker. He wrote it for Chris Tucker,
Oh,
but nobody, anticipated the success of Friday. And so all of a sudden, Chris
Yeah.
Tucker was like, "Oh no,
Unreachable. Yeah.
right.
movie on the moon." Like I
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
right now, baby. And so and there lie, and then it opened up, and then DJ Pooh tapped me to be in Three Strikes, and that has sort of been a huge blessing that I'm extremely grateful. Um, the DJ Pooh entrusted me because, as you know, when you go back, you look to see everybody was in there.
Oh,
Monique,
yeah.
Epps,
That's
E40. There
right.
was so many
Faison.
Oh, it's a big
Faison,
Yeah.
cast.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
people in there, and it's a movie that just never dies. You know what I mean? I go to
Hilarious.
all
Yeah.
corners of the world, and people who don't speak English, they know Three Strikes. And so, and it's always shocking to see the reach of that, and it always lives, and
Right.
people are always looking for it, and they're always talking about it. It's just become one of those hood classics that's,
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
fine. It just keep getting better and better with time. So, Three Strikes was definitely, a it was an important milestone
Now
in
you
my
were
journey.
young in your career at that point too. You under your belt. You didn't have too many films. So how did that feel to be with all these celebrities and working with these amazing, talented people during that time?
It was just that. It was amazing because I've never walked around with an ego or, you know what I mean, or any sort of, any of that. So I'm fans of all these folks,
Right.
you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the excitement of, having the, opportunity to star in this film. And then also doubly exciting that I get to work with all these cool comics and Big Worm and all that stuff. So it was, and DJ Pooh, I've been, listening to his music with Ice Cube and knowing that he wrote Friday, co-wrote Friday with Cube. So it was all just super, super, super exciting. And I understood that it was a blessing. So, and I walked up every day just, prepared and understanding that it was an amazing opportunity. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was kind of surreal, you know what I mean? Coming from Bakersfield and just now being in this business and taking these steps and now doing, I always felt like Three Strikes could be, you know what I mean, something great. And then here we are, however many years later, it's still, you know what I
Still
mean? It's not a
something.
day
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
that, that somebody's like, yo, Three Strikes, not one day passes. So I understood that it could have been that at the time, and I approached it as such. And I was super excited, but very prepared, you know, to make it happen at the highest level. It was just a blessing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, great. Great.
So Brian, in this point in your career, you've accomplished much, right? Things that other folks really haven't. They didn't have the wherewithal. Things you didn't even know you were going to do. Where does it go from here for you? What do you want to achieve that you haven't tried yet?
I'm gonna start stripping. I figure like, start doing little strips.
I dug that hole. I did that. So
Yeah,
He's crazy.
these oversized cowboy boots, and I'm gonna put on like a
Oh
loose
man.
belt, no drawers, and just gonna see where it
let's
goes.
see what
Oh,
see
No,
what happens.
it's crazy.
uh, um, well, again, it's such an independent time, so I'm sort of enjoying, the freedom and having the, access to create the films that I want to create.
Hmm.
But I will say there was a space to where it become mundane, and I wasn't as excited about the work that I was doing that I should have. And I tapped into my Uncle Willie Hooks, and is a mentor, and George Antone, who's a mentor, and you just start talking and figuring out, what are you doing? How are you doing it? When are you doing it? What are you excited about? And long story short, I went on this journey to sort of figure out what else. You know what I mean? What's my
Hmm.
why? What am
Hmm.
I doing all this stuff for? Is it just, you just making a movie so people laugh, or you making a movie to see how much you can make? And none of that was sort of giving me a rise. So long story short, I was going to school to be a teacher, and I was always talking and mentoring youth whenever I had a chance to, and I just love kids. So after some soul searching and um, connecting a lot of joint dots, and joining the Santa Monica Rotary, and being a Rotarian, and seeing the way they just go out, and we have these meetings, and they just like, who can we help? How can we help them? And their motto is service above self.
Mm.
And so with my God-given gift of entertainment and my love for students and the background of the Rotary, with this whole give, 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 I ended up creating Left of Bang Entertainment, which is a program that mentors youth and allows them to be a part of the entertainment process. Movies and TVs and film have this super magical effect on people, and very much so on kids. So I always figured if I could allow them to have a piece of that and be a part of this, Hollywood magic, that I can grab their attention
Mm.
and get them to move and get them to see things beyond their sometimes limited
Hmm.
circumstance.
Hmm.
So with this program, we take these youth and do just that, and allow them to be a part of the filmmaking process. And so they get real excited about that. But that's sort of the icing. And when you slice into this program, it's just layers and layers of mentorship.
Wow.
And so I've had folks like Anthony Anderson come on
Wow.
and
Ooh.
speak to them, JB Smoove,
That's
Vivica
funny.
Fox, Craig Robinson, Kareem Grimes, and all these folks who've done all these amazing things in film. And the idea is to show them that there's more out there than what they may be seeing with the music and entertainment and so on and so forth.
Hmm. Hmm.
Whether they fall in love with the idea of filmmaking, and because I give them classes and let them, be on set. And so maybe they fall in love with that and want to pursue that. But if nothing else, they walk away with the ideas like, yo, if I could do that, I could do anything. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And the hugest factor when you have youth in inner city is having a mentor,
Mm-hmm.
uh, outside of the situation, who's able to feed and share and give them, um, and share with them a different journey than they may not be able to see, and the statistics of them ending up in the system versus not, by just having one mentor, is night and day. And
Hmm.
so
Absolutely.
I figured out a way to pinch off at least 10% of everything that I'm doing, and put it towards that program. And, I can't save everybody, but at least I know
Do your
I'm
part.
saving one
Hmm.
or two or three, or doing what I can. And I can honestly say, since I've started that, everything I'm doing is just a million times more fulfilling.
That's
and
beautiful.
just doing it and seeing how much I can make and how much they can laugh and how much I can whatever.
Yeah.
It had just taken on a whole other, it's hard to explain until you do it, but to give yourself or give something without expecting anything back, service above self, it just is no greater high. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's no
Love
car,
it.
there's
Love
fast
it.
enough car that gives you that feeling. There's no
Yes.
big enough house that gives you that feeling. There's no big enough award that gives you the
Mm-hmm.
feeling, the gratification that you get from helping someone.
So
Um,
true.
you know, and that being it without expecting anything back. And so when I do that for the youth, that's been everything. And I feel like that's been the biggest thing that I've done and can ever do.
That
And
is
so I just want to
beautiful.
continue to grow that.
It absolutely
Wow.
beautiful.
That's
What's
beautiful.
the name of the program again?
Yes.
Left of Bang Entertainment.
Left of bang in the town. Okay,
Oh, that's
great.
beautiful.
Wow.
What you have
Love it.
described is that it is truly more blessed to give than to receive. I love. I mean, that's what you're describing in your journey. I love that. I love that. But I wonder, is there a way? Do people? Is there a way that people can support that program?
Yeah, well, you can go and message on leftofbangentertainment.com and if even if you have a kid or a child who you would like to be, because we've also the pandemic sort of pushed me to put it online, which has been great. So now we have kids in, Chicago and Florida and New York and Texas who can all be on at the same time as well. So that's been a blessing. So if you have a kid or a youth who you
Mm-hmm.
feel would benefit from the program, you can go on, message, and we'll make sure you get the info for when we start the other one and let the ins and outs and all that good stuff. Or if you just, you have some resources of some sort and
Mm-hmm.
you want to, whether that's welcome as well. So just
Mm-hmm.
going through the site and messaging and then just take it from there.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So
Brian,
important.
absolutely. Brian, this has been an amazing interview. Amazing. We're going to end shortly, but before we end, there's a question that I know people want to told me to ask. Let's go back just a little bit. You got casted to be on Eve, which was
Yeah.
big.
Yes.
How was that?
Yes.
How did that happen? Tell us how that came about.
That one, Eve, was it, that was probably the hugest, like, whoa.
Mm.
For a couple reasons. One, TV with film, it's the director and the producer, they like you, you're in. One, two, whatever auditions. Excuse me. But with TV, it's more it's more sensitive. So a
Mm.
lot of people have to say
Mm.
yes, see somebody on TV, the creator, the producer, uh, you know, the network, studio, the head of the studio. So it was like it was a lot of auditions to be cast on the Eve show. And I think just the even the financial side, what you hear about is like, oh, you make it to Hollywood and you get that. And that was also a factor as well. So it was one of those moments and one of those shows and one of those castings is like, oh, yo, this can, if you're smart, this can shift the trajectory of your
Mm-hmm.
life forever. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was that, we end up doing 3 seasons, I think what 70 something episodes. Um, we had an amazing group with Eve, Natalie DeSalle, Sean, Jason, Allie, and bless her soul, Natalie DeSalle passed
Yes.
recently, very suddenly. She was the most amazing person and the funniest person
Mm.
you ever meet. You never knew what was going to come out of Natalie's mouth. Like you could not bring her around people who if you don't bring Natalie. But we were so close. It was such an amazing experience. We would work all day together and then hang out, go after work together, which is sort of unheard from a sitcom. You work together that long, you know what I mean? They say, that's a wrap, and phew, people
Mm-hmm.
shoot their different directions. But we would be like, okay, what we doing next? Where y'all going? And so
Nice.
it was just such a blessing. to have that group of people like that. And then again, I think it was like every Thursday or Friday, they would back that truck up and give me that check. And I was like, man, I was looking at that like, ooh,
I
I
like
felt
that. I
like I
like
had
that. I want somebody to back a
citizen.
truck up. That
Okay,
sounds
okay.
good. That sounds real good.
I said, this gotta be illegal. Like somebody going to jail, they gonna bust in here and arrest all of
They
us.
gonna find out. They gonna find out.
That must be nice. That
Yeah,
must be
so every
nice.
time I just got my check, I put it in a sock because I never knew it was
That boy crazy.
it was just coming from a small town like Bakersfield and then being there. I just like yo, God is present in my life,
Yes, yes,
and I just knew it was a blessing, and yeah, I showed up every day,
yes.
ready to work.
Brian, we are honored to have you on the
So
show.
honored. It's been
Listen,
great.
before we go though, my partner has three important questions to ask you.
Well, I'm hoping to get three really good answers. At least one really good answer. What are the top three podcasts that you listen or subscribe to?
I'm not a podcast person, but I would
Mm,
say this interview that I'm doing with you
there
guys
you
is
go.
number one,
There you go. We'll take it.
period.
Wonderful. There we go. Period.
Smart. This is a smart guy right
And I
there.
love it.
Don't
Brian, on
say
behalf of
hands down.
Yes,
thank you, thank you.
wonderful.
On
Thank you.
behalf of Jazzy Conversations, I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Brian, have a great night. Take care.
Wonderful to have you.
Thank you guys.
Peace. Oh, gee. Very
Brian looks
talented brother.
very talented. So after each show, the folks are going to go back and they're going to Google,
Oh,
like, oh, that's where I know him from. Yeah,
absolutely. So
really,
talented,
really
very
talented.
talented.
Very
Enjoy.
humble,
Absolutely.
really genuine.
Absolutely.
What another good interview.
I enjoyed him. I enjoyed him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll
Well,
do it again. We'll be back next week. Guys, tune in.
tune in.
On behalf of Jazzy Conversations, I'm Teef.
And I'm Gigi.
Have a great night, guys. Take care.